Okay, hello. Welcome back to another video. This is literally just going to be me trying on the new Buffbunny community collection and kind of just chatting through some of my thoughts. Am I a little bit annoyed right now because I just sat down to edit this video right now and realized the first half of my footage completely disappeared, so I'm gonna try to refilm the first half. Yes, that did happen. That's frustrating, but alas, she persisted. So I'm gonna try to get through everything because I don't remember what I lost and what I said that I still have footage for. So if things are repetitive or a little bit confusing, I deeply apologize. I am doing my best here. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name's Haley, if you don't know me. I am somebody that has been like lifting for so long, and I've worked with multiple brands over my tenure on social media, and I truly just love a lot of Buffbunny pieces. But I will say this is going to be a pretty brutally honest review because I've tried all these pieces on. Some of them do fall flat for me, and that's really unfortunate, but this collection is always going to hold such a special place in my heart because I was flown out by the team to shoot this collection. It was my very first shoot with Buffbunny, and it was literally just one of the coolest moments of my life. Every single person on the team behind the scenes, and then the other girls that I had never gotten a chance to meet any other Buffbunny athlete or affiliate before, but every single human that I met, like, I just had such an amazing connection with, and I'm just so grateful for this brand and everything that it stands for. And I love them, but I will also say some of the pieces are a little bit lacking, and I only say that for one, don't waste your coins on things that aren't the greatest, because there are some pretty amazing pieces in this collection that I would advise spending your money on. And for two, we all have things that we can improve on, and I love that Buffbunny is consistently improving their materials. For example, and so we have the Maraschino sports bra, which I absolutely love this piece. I think this is one of my favorite pieces in the collection, and they did change fit based on feedback, and I think that's fantastic, and I will chat through that in a little bit. But just for example, like, they're always improving, and I think this is so great. I was an athlete with Vitality for a little while, and I worked behind the scenes in the corporate side of Gymshark for 2 years. And I've never seen a brand like Buffbunny where they have completely given an entire collection to the community to design with the team. That is like unheard of in this space, and I think that just goes a long way in showing that like this brand really cares about you. And so some of these pieces are not really tailored towards me, and that's completely fine. The community really wanted a lot of performance fabrics, and that's what a lot of these pieces are. I will admit, I'm not a big performance fabric or fit kind of person. And so that's kind of why some of my opinions on some of the pieces just kind of skew that way. But that being said, I truly believe, specifically what I'm wearing right now, the cloud set, there is something in this collection for absolutely everybody. Whether it is for you to go work out or for you to survive these winter months and curl up on your couch and put on, you know, Hallmark Christmas movies as we lead into the season, there is something that every single person is going to absolutely adore. And so without further ado, let's get into the review. So we've got amazing pieces. I'm so excited about some of these. So I am somebody, I would just like to preface, I am not a colorful person. I do not love a lot of bright colors. It's just not what I gravitate towards generally from brands. There are obviously some colors that I really love, but in general, if there's neutrals in a collection, that is what I tend to grab. I also know that that is not typical of the Buffbunny audience. So I'm a little bit in the minority on that, which makes sense why there are so many bright colors. I just, in general, especially going into colder months, tend to gravitate a lot more towards neutrals and dark tones. So the first piece that I would like to show is kind of really up my alley because it is taking a lot of kind of like those like dark tones of like the black, and then you have in contrast stitching, which I think is just so phenomenal because it kind of just like allows you to get out of your comfort zone the tiniest bit and show that neutral that you like, but then also you get to be part of the collection and part of the vibes. And I think this is really cool. So this is the Airbrush short, and I believe it's a 7-inch. I will, if it is wrong, I will put on the screen that I'm wrong. I'm going off the top of my head. I believe it is a 7-inch, and because of that, I do kind of hike it up a little bit more, just because my sweet spot is 5 to 6 inches for my body and my preferences. But as it being a 7-inch, I'm able to hike it up into like the place that I want. will I say something about this? These are not the most comfortable long term. I think that these performance pieces are really designed for you to get in, wear them, get your workout done, and then like go change. Because I wore these the other day to the nail salon before my workout, and just sitting in them, they kind of settled into like my hips a little bit, and it just kind of hurt. They're not like soft, like buttery, like the butter fabric, where it's something that you could wear all day. Which I don't think it's claiming to be that, but I did just want to point that out if that is something that you like to do, where you're going and wearing your activewear. Maybe you don't sweat like a ton at the gym and you're gonna go run errands afterwards, or you know, whatever it may be. I don't really think that the airbrush fabric is for that, personally. I really love that these pieces have kind of all the colors except for this gorgeous purple, which this purple is so elegant. For one, okay, I'm not really a pink and purple kind of girl. Even though I did go to TCU, go Frogs, I don't really gravitate towards wearing purples and pinks and that kind of color family too often. I am going to say this is the color that is the exception. This is so luxe, you guys. This is giving regal, this is giving elegant, this is literally just like such a rich purple that like I'm kind of gagged by. It's something that I personally would spend money on. I think this is so great. And I did shoot in this color and I just really did like it. I don't have any of the pastel like tops and things like that, but there are a long sleeve, which was very cozy, by the way, so comfortable. So you could do a pastel long sleeve oversized shirt with this set, which I think is really fun because it kind of just adds like a little fun little element to it, you know? What I love about that, aside from that purple, this black color has so many of the other colors from this collection. So you've got a blue to kind of tie in that blue element. You have the lima bean, which is the neon kind of muted neon highlighter yellow green vibe. And then in the back, a beautiful keyhole cutout is lined in this pink. And so I think it really is so great because it ties in the rest of the collection and with like contrast stitching. And for me, like I'm somebody that is so obsessed with two-tone stitching. Like quite frankly, the Story collection, the Story of Motherhood collection, with the Story Sports Bra, which is like the two-toned layer bra, like that is like my vibe to a T. I love everything about that. I've begged the team to bring it back in other colorways. I just love anything that is showing like a two-toned kind of vibe. I think that is like my way of like having a pop of color, because I would much rather grab and wear something like this than like a full pink set or something like that, just because I'm a little bit hesitant on a lot of color, if that makes any sense. And we have the sun that came out to play, which honestly kind of here for, because I think I look really pale even though I put spray tan on. It's not translating, so this is giving me a little bit of the golden hour glow. So that being said, I have these pieces on. I am wearing an extra large in this. It is really frustrating because every brand, I feel like I wear a different size, and then if I say that, I've been accused of lying about my size. You Reddit people, crazy, mental health issues. But like I've been accused of lying about my size, and so I'm wearing an extra large in this collection, but like I still wear medium leggings in Vitality. It is so different depending on the brand and the cut, but according to the size chart in the measurements, I wear an extra large in those pieces. So that's kind of my baseline with Buffbunny. But I will say, that being said, I almost wish I would have sized down to a large in the sports bra if I was going to do any sort of cardio, high intensity, anything with it, because this is comfortable. Let me see if I can, I don't know if you can see that, like the gap through that. There's a little bit looser of a material, but I do find this very comfortable in terms of fit if I were to want to wear this to the gym. Because for a lift, this is kind of all I need. It's not going to dig in, it's not too tight, it's not causing any gaping by, you know, spillage because it's so tight. However, if I were to try to run in this, we all know I'm not a runner. Is that going to change next year? Stay tuned. But I don't think that I would want to wear this size if I were going to be doing anything higher intensity. I think this kind of does run a little bit big. So if you're in between sizes, I would kind of take that into account. Do you like things a little bit tighter with the sports bra, or you want just comfort between sizing up and sizing down? But I wear an extra large in Buffbunny sports bras, and this is an extra large, and I think I would personally size down because I do think the fit is a little bit too loose for any sort of movement, especially given that this is a performance piece. Like, this fits more into that cardio pillar. At least Buffbunny team, correct me if I'm wrong, that's what I understood of this. And so I think that this is too loose for that, especially like I have a larger chest. I have 38D boobs, 36 double D. I wouldn't know, I don't own a real bra, so I don't really know what that fits, but I'm around that size. And like, it's just a little bit too loose for me, but it just depends, I guess. And then we have the short, which I'm gonna back up and show. Okay, so I think that these shorts are very cute. I'm gonna almost like kind of shift this so you can see a little bit better. I think these shorts are very cute. This isn't kind of my favorite material for a short personally. I find it a little bit rough, but it does have pockets here. They are big enough to fit the hand. So, you know, a key, an ID, if you're going on a run type of thing. If you're running, ladies, please have your ID on you, just in case. But I do think that these are really cute. These are really flattering. These shorts do not slide down the way that the leggings do, which I'll go into when I try on the leggings. But I will say, I think these are my favorite shorts that are in the performance cardio pillar. I still will say that the pillar is not really geared towards my preferences, but of that pillar, I do think these are my favorite. My only issue is like this kind of rolls. Let me see if I can kind of show you. So you see that you got the seam coming across the stitching. This rolls a lot for me, which kind of cuts that off, which almost draws more attention to the rolling, just because, you know, black pieces, you can't really tell if things are folding over. But when you have a colored seam that is going to be folded over and block that, it's a lot more obvious. I think that is so minor, it's not a big deal. These aren't rolling up my thighs the way that a lot of other shorts do. So like, I would put that in the performance fabric and like the performance fit as like a win personally for that. But like I said, these are a little bit of a longer short, and I can comfortably, because this is kind of like the length that I typically would like to wear my shorts, and I can fully get it up there and feel comfortable. It's not digging in. I do kind of have fattier thighs, but you can kind of tell it's not like insanely digging in. Like, this isn't like a super tight seam. All in all, I do really like these shorts. That being said, I don't know if I would personally purchase them again for me. But we do have the other sports bras. I think these sports bras are great. I really do like them. It comes in a lot of fun colors, which I think is so perfect for the collection. And I think this is one of my favorite pieces in the collection. This is something that I would pair with like Legacy or aggressive scrunch bottoms and go rock a workout in. Or I would attempt to size down and wear it on a run if I were to get into running, wink wink. So let me show you some of the other pieces. And this is actually where we're gonna switch to the other footage that I have. So I will chat with you guys then. Poppy also wanted to join. She's gonna join every video of mine. I really hope you guys think she's the cutest thing in the entire world. She is. If you don't think that, you are wrong. I love this little angel, and she just loves her mommy. No. I'm gonna cry. I love her so much, you guys. But I do think, that being said, I really like the Airbrush Maraschino sports bra. I think that this is really great. I've seen the before and afters of the design choices that they made to improve this. Substantial improvement for girls with larger chest. They increased this and they increased this. I think that's fantastic, and I personally think that this is something that I would wear quite a bit. I would just pair it with probably like solid Legacy bottoms. That's just my own personal opinion. It is tight here, and it is like, I just lean back and my belly button's right here. It is so hard. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me walk to my bathroom and back. Oh, let me bend over and say hi to Poppy. Okay, here's the deal. Do you see this? This is where they should be sitting. This is high rise. And they have slid down. For one, seam popped out of my booty crack. We don't like that. And then this is just not a flattering piece. And I shouldn't have to, when I just walked 15 seconds, pull this up consistently. The fabric is way too slick for it to grip onto your skin to not slide down. It is so unfortunate because I think this is a fun idea. I think this two-tone stitching, all of that is a very fun idea. This does not work if you have curves, in my opinion. I'm sorry. If other people had a different experience, I really love that for them. I wish that was my experience. But these leggings are such a no-go. I kind of want to have a panic attack having them on my body with my body dysmorphia. It's rough. Like I said earlier, this is me sitting and they are sliding down. Like I wanted to like these so bad, and I did not think that they slid down this bad in the shoot. They did slide down in the shoot. They are sliding down so much more than I experienced, and that is just making me very sad because I want to like everything that I received, but I also want to be authentic and tell you guys the truth, and also like let Buffbunny know, because I have. The slide down is, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. I like the bra, I don't like the bottoms. I've noticed the shorts, like I said, are better than the leggings. The shorts don't slide down that badly. They're just not very comfortable long term. The leggings just don't work, in my opinion. And I have the leggings also in the gorgeous purple, and I really love wearing these at the shoot. I don't remember having this bad of an issue because I wouldn't have gotten them again, like when I selected my PR. But it's just, it's hard. I think it's hard. And there are pockets. Like it has a pocket, which would be so great, but then look, I just put my hand in my pocket and you see it just slid down even more. These are not for me. I'm gonna have a little bit of a crash out, so I'm gonna go ahead and change into my favorite. I'm gonna go change into my favorite because that makes me feel substantially better. We absolutely adore this. I think this is very much just me. I am a black girl, always have been. I was gonna show you the sports bra up before they made improvements, but I think I have it in storage because I really never wore it. So this is the candy wrap bra, which used to have like metal here, like metal buckles. I found it just very uncomfortable personally. They took those off and just made it a classic halter, but with the Revolution sports bra back, which I think is just so comfortable and so flattering on literally everybody. So that is what they took for this, and this is obviously Newbury, which is my favorite fabric personally. I think it's just so flattering, it's so comfortable, and pairing it with just black legacy bottoms, which it is very hard to get just a solid black bottom at Buffbunny because they sell out, and it's hard for them to keep it in stock. So this coming back with this collection, 10 out of 10. I love this. I think this is just so great. So one thing about me personally, let me just tell you this anecdote. I am a reader. I love my book club. I feel like my book club has allowed me to branch into other genres that I normally wouldn't grab. So first book for book club was beginning of last year, and they selected Fourth Wing, and I was over here like, oh my god, I don't want to read fantasy, that's not my thing. I'm about to have to read about like dragons and fairies and all this, right? Famous last words. Fourth Wing completely changed my life, and it's my favorite book of all time. I absolutely love it. Violet Sorrengail is my girl, right? Rebecca Yarros, one of my favorite authors. I have read other books by her because Fourth Wing series is her only fantasy. I've read some of her other contemporary romances. Oh my god, they're so good. She's an amazing author. I will never take slander from her. She's my girl. So fast forward to the shoot. I'm over here like, I just remember the team being so annoyed because I kept running around when I was shooting this outfit, being like, oh my god, I'm in writer's black. Where is my dragon? I would get a black dragon, or I would get Andorna the gold dragon. I just like wouldn't stop. I was like, I'm in writer's black. Does it look like I'm about to go tackle the villain? And they kept looking at me like I had four heads. But that is what I feel like this. I, for one, love the fit of it. Makes me feel confident. It isn't all black, which makes me feel confident. And so you couple that with all my confidence, and I'm just like, I am a dragon rider. I'm in writer's black. I am part of the writer's quadrant. That being said, I would say that's probably the nerdiest thing about me, but I love it. I just love all black piece. I think they're so flattering. It's so great. It's so cute. So there is one more thing that I grabbed, and is it in black? Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm a neutrals girly to my core, and I'm gonna grab things that I personally wear a lot. This is my piece. I was living in this while I was shooting. So this is the Cloud Hoodie in Onyx Black. Also, the fact that sorry, back to the fourth wing thing. The fact that the colors are Onyx Black, Onyx, like Onyx Storm, the third book in the fourth wing series. Onyx, yeah, you know what? I know Onyx is black. It is just, it's all meant to be. It's all interconnected, and I think it's great. So, that being said, I shot in the normal extra large Clouds sweatpants, and they are oversized. They were swimming. I had to tie the waistband so tight, and it still was kind of sliding down. So I remembered when I was getting my PR that I was going to size down. It made me size down just like a little bit too much. I feel like I'm like in between the happy medium of it. Do I wish I had slightly bigger? Yes, but it's not too tight where I'm uncomfortable. So actually, these are gonna be really great in the spring when I am in a cut and I lose weight, because the oversize is gonna be the oversize that I want. That being said, I feel like if you're in between sizes, I would recommend sizing down unless you absolutely hate anything remotely being tight on you when it comes to sweats. Then I would stay with your normal size or size up. But these are substantially oversized. I will just warn you. But I'm gonna try them on right now. I absolutely love this. I'm about to wear this over, I'm going over to my friend Angie's tonight, and it's Wicked night, Dancing with the Stars, and I'm gonna be wearing this. And I know you're gonna say, Haley, literally why are you wearing black when you could be wearing green? Or I'm gonna wear a green top underneath this. I'm not pink, I'm sorry, I can't do it. But I think like, I like Ariana Grande, so like Glinda the Good, but I'm more Elphaba. But I'm gonna be wearing this over to Angie's all night. So that's why I'm like ending with this, because I'm just gonna finish my day in these comfy sweats, and you're gonna see me living in these sweats. I am babbling, let me try these on. We are the life of a showgirl. Okay, 10s, you have to give them their flowers. This is so oversized, this is so comfy. It is stretchy, literally. It is so cozy and comfy. Actually, now that I have it on as a set, I'm really glad that I have this size bottom, but if I were to wear it by itself, I feel like this is kind of fitting a little bit weird. But you know what? I'll just wear it with the set. I would also like to give them so many props, because my biggest pet peeve, actually I have a lot of pet peeves, but one of my biggest pet peeves is every sweatpant that I ever have owned has become a high water on me because I'm tall. Wait, that's ugly. I'm not trying to be berries and cream. These, I'm 5'10". Look at this. 10s. I'm giving them their 10s. I think this is so phenomenal and so comfy, and I love. I feel like this is rest day at the Writer's Quadrant. I need to stop, you guys. I really can't help it. It is my favorite book. And it is something that is always in my head. So that being said, I really love this. It comes in the pastel purple and the lima bean. So if you are a color person, you could get a matching set of this. I'm just going into winter in Chicago here soon, and we kind of go with more gloom and doom. So that's why I got all black, because it is something that I'm gonna wear more. I don't think that I would wear like the neon highlighter full set in Chicago winter, which is the only reason I didn't get it. If this was launching in February, going into Chicago spring, would have gotten it. That is just my problem with that. And again, I'm not really a big purple girl. If it was this, I would have gotten it. Pastel purple, even though I went to TCU, I just don't think it looks the greatest on me personally, so I don't typically gravitate towards it. So personally, I think top pieces, the Cloud sweats, 10 out of 10. This is one of the best things they've ever made, in my opinion. I absolutely adore this. I think that everybody going into winter, in the winter, you know what, doesn't seem as bad when you have something like this. It is so cozy, it is so comfortable, it is literally such high quality. You have the Buffbunny, let me see, can you see? There we go. You have the Buffbunny embroidered. You have it embroidered. It is truly like so above and beyond. I have sweat sets from Lululemon, I have sweat sets from Aloe, I have sweat sets from like other brands. This is the best sweat set that I own personally. I would spend so much money on this. I love this. So this is the best thing in the collection, in my opinion. And I know I'm saying the sweats are. I am just a sweats girl. I'm an oversized sweats girl. It is my favorite thing in the entire world. I'm going to be living in this, truly. It is so good. And then I would say the next best thing in the collection is this candy wrap bra. I I'm obsessed. I am gonna be wearing this all the time. I actually can't wait. I'm gonna wear it this week whenever I go hit my posterior day, which is back, buys, and a little bit of glutes. I am so excited. I truly love this so much. It's not digging in. It is just perfect. It's so comfy. This is my kind of, I love a Nubri. So I think those, that being said, of course, the opposite of that is the Legacy leggings in the Nubri fabric. I think Black Legacy, they also do have like a pattern with the Legacy leggings that I have photos in. I'm gonna put like a little montage of all the photos and videos from behind the scenes of my shoot with them. That way you can see what the pieces look like on my body on things that I didn't personally get to own myself, but I shot in, and just some fun behind the scenes stuff of me and the girls. But that is going to be at the end of this video. I just love the black. That's just something that I would wear more. I'm not really a big pattern girly. There is something that I would like to note with the patterns of this collection. So there is kind of like this like tie-dye wash fabric that I shot in for a pair of leggings. I want to just give a warning if you are going to get that, because I had this issue at the shoot. It is something where a darker splotch of it was kind of on the front crotch area, and it kind of looked like I don't groom. I don't know how to say that. You'll see in the, but that is something that if I were to spend money on and I received something that like had a bush, I would be very upset about. So that is a risk, because if I had something that I had at the shoot, I think that that is something that potentially you could have if you ordered it. You can always return and get your money back, but who wants to go through the hassle if that's just what you get? So that is one qualm that I had with that, but it was comfortable fabric because it is the Nubri. I just love the Nubri. So I cloud both Nubri pieces, and then I really love the Airbrush maraschino bra. I think this is obviously my favorite colorway because I just think this is so fun and unique. I love a color blocking moment. This is truly like one of my favorites. I mean, the Story Sports bra from the Story of a Motherhood collection, I just love a two-tone color block moment. So this is something that I tend to gravitate towards. I also just think that this colorway is just sexy, personally. So I really like the Airbrush maraschino sports bra, and I would say that's my fourth favorite piece. But I will say I don't really think the Airbrush bottoms are something that I would personally gravitate towards, but there are other things in this collection, obviously, that I'm just obsessed with. So that's kind of also what I love, is that with this collection and with any collection, there is something for everybody and everybody's like desires. I know Natalie and Kara were saying they really loved there was a lot of performance pieces because they're more performance athletes, and I love that for them. And I also appreciate that there was something for just like average lifters and girls that like to go on girl walks. This does have something for everybody in my opinion. So that's kind of just my thoughts on the piece. That being said, I hope I didn't rip them to shreds too much. I just really struggle with the things that fit my body. I have this issue with a lot of brands. It's not just Buffbunny, but I will say there were pieces in this collection that fell flat for me, which was really unfortunate. But I do have some new favorites. I'm going to be living in this. I love the cloud pieces. It is truly just that girl. So all that's to say, thank you so much for watching this YouTube video. I do fully intend on posting more and not only sharing like collections and like, you know, we're going into sales season and things like that, but I do want to post a little bit more and just kind of like get more used to long form content. It is fun for me, so I really appreciate all of you. Feel free to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. It's all linked in the bio down below the description. And I also will have my Buffbunny link. Also, by the way, in case you don't know, I'm gonna have it throughout this whole video. Code Haley literally gives you a discount. You get 10% off of your entire Buffbunny order whenever you shop with that code. It also really does greatly support me and my relationship with the brand, which I greatly appreciate. But all that to say, I will have all of that info down in the description box, and I will chat with you guys next time. Thank you so much.